Okay, I'm here at the high water mark in Gettysburg. More specifically, I'm at the angle of the wall near the copse of trees. And today, I'm going to talk about Sergeant Major William S. Stockton of the 71st Pennsylvania, also known as the California Regiment, and this group of rocks right here that have these cracks in them near the angle on the wall. It was here on July 3rd, 1863, between 2:45 and 3 in the afternoon, that Stockton and his comrades from the 71st Pennsylvania Regiment clashed with Armistead's brigade here at the angle on the wall. Now, some of the men of the 71st Pennsylvania Volunteers, at this point in the battle, when Armistead and his troops began to cross over this wall, some of those Union troops began to scatter to the rear and had to be revived by General Alexander Webb. However, a small squad of troops that were here at the angle with William Stockton stayed here and fought with the Confederates from Armistead's brigade. Now, at this point in the battle, other regiments had been rushed forward to the wall, including the 72nd Pennsylvania, which monument you see there, and of course the obelisk of the 69th, who had been there all along. As these Confederate troops came across these fields that we're looking at right now, also known as Pickett's Charge, they crashed into the wall here at the angle where the 71st Pennsylvania was placed. At some point, Armistead's troops actually scaled the wall and began to take prisoners, in which was Sergeant Major William Stockton and a few privates from the 71st Pennsylvania. They were stood right here where these rocks are today with these cracks in them. Today we know these as the Stockton Rock. And these troops were asked to head to the rear as prisoners, but pretended that they didn't hear or just plain outright refused. And they stood there. Stockton had a plan. He figured that if he waited long enough without going to the rear, that eventually Union soldiers would come up into this area, and if that is the case, he could make a break for it. And that is exactly what happened. The troops that Alexander Webb revived came back to the wall, and when Stockton and his men seen that, they broke to the rear, weaponless, and headed to the rear, before turning around and coming back here without weapons. Stockton would then return to the spot where he and his men had been prisoners moments before and take prisoners from Armistead's brigade. This has been the Stockton Rock here on Gettysburg Historic Walking Tours, and I am historian Frank Patrick Marone Jr.